go ahead and give it a taste test. It's just so delicious. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Vegan Schmegan Vlog. In case you don't know, my name is Melissa and I share my vegan recipes and how I live my vegan life to show you how simple it can be. In the season of summertime and barbecues, I'm going to share with you one of my all-time favorite recipes to bring for a potluck style get-together. I'm sharing my homemade vegan macaroni salad, and it is just so delicious. It's so yummy. The way that Eric grew up eating it, he loved like certain things with it, so he asked me to incorporate those. So I've been making it this way for years, and we both love it and our families love it, and I think that you'll love it too. So let's get into how to make this simple recipe. Okay, so first up, I have some water boiling back here for the elbow macaroni that we're going to use. I was gonna show it to you guys, but honestly, you know what boiling pasta looks like. So let's get into chopping up the veggies and creating the sauce, if you will, that will go into our macaroni salad. First up, I'm gonna make the sauce or dressing, if you will. I'm just gonna be using some vegan mayo. I love Follow Your Heart with this recipe, but they didn't have it at my store, so I'm using this Best Foods vegan mayo. And then some apple cider vinegar, and then some sugar, which I didn't grab, so 1 second. And then just some plain old sugar. Let's add in our vegan mayo. I'm gonna be making a half recipe of what I have on my website because this stuff is addicting, and Eric and I do not need a full recipe of this sitting in the house because it's honestly a lot. So make half if you don't want as much around. And you'll see what half looks like. It's still a bit. So let's jump into it. So we'll just add in our mayo. Don't be alarmed. It's a lot of mayo, but it's very good. Now let's add in our sugar. This might sound kind of weird, and we're just putting a little bit. It's a really good balance for all of the savory flavors and then to offset the richness of the mayo and everything. So definitely don't skip the sugar. And last up, let's add in some apple cider vinegar. We're just gonna give this a nice mix, and then we'll set this aside to add the veggies to. Okay, nice and incorporated. Gonna set it aside. And actually my water just came to a boil, so I'm gonna throw my noodles in. All right, my noodles are boiling away. I set a timer for when they're supposed to be done. Highly recommend that so you don't have to think about them or keep checking on them. But now let's jump into chopping up the veggies. So I'm just gonna do some celery, carrot, and onion, and then we'll have some more stuff that we're throwing in there later. So I'm just gonna get started with dicing all of these, and then we'll add them into our dressing. All right, veggies are all chopped up. They're gonna go in the dressing now. Next up into our concoction is going to be some olives. These are delicious in there. And then kind of non-traditional, I think, is the diced pimentos. So this was one of Eric's like secret family recipe additions, and you need these. They're amazing. You can find them near where you get like olives in the store. They're not a super weird ingredient if you haven't heard of them before. It's just a kind of pepper. So definitely add these into there. It adds a whole nother dimension of flavor into there. I'm gonna chop these up, and then we will throw the pimentos and the olives in our sauce. And the noodles are probably almost done, so everything's gonna wrap up around the same time. Actually, my noodles just finished cooking. So what I'm gonna do with those is drain off the boiling water, and then I'm going to fill the pot up with cold water and let them sit in there because we want the noodles to be cold when we mix everything together. Oh my gosh, sorry, my cats are going insane. So I'm gonna do that now, and then we'll get back to that final step, and we'll bring everything together, and we're gonna do it together. So let's do it. All right, I got my pasta chilling in some cold water. I added some ice cubes because it's very hot, of course. I forgot to mention it's also good to put this in cold water now because you want it to stop cooking, because when it goes in the dressing, it's going to add just more like moisture, obviously, to the pasta. So you don't want it to get too soggy. So that's another reason for adding in the cold water now. Let's get to the olives and the pimientos, and then we're almost done. Olives are chopped. Let's get them in the dressing. For the pimientos, oh jeez. Hey, here's a trick. If you can't get this open, give it a little tap on the edge of your counter, and then it still won't open. Ah, it will open. Okay, I'm going to add in only half of these because I'm making half of a recipe, as I said. Oh, they smell so good. They're like this nice roasted pepper kind of dealio. You guys gotta add these in. We're gonna give these a nice little mix. As you probably noticed, I didn't add any salt or anything in. I find that the olives and the pimientos give a lot of salt to the dish. So I would make the whole thing without salt and then taste it and see if you want to add just a little bit in, but don't add it just from the get-go. So everything's nice and combined here, and I'm going to go ahead and see if the noodles are cool enough, and then we will throw them in here. My noodles are cooled down, so I'm gonna go ahead and add them into the dressing now. So I like the noodles to be cool so that the dressing doesn't get like warm or anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate everything well, and then we're going to throw this into the refrigerator again, just to let everything come together and cool down. As you can see, the dressing looks kind of thin at this point, but we'll cool it down in the fridge to get everything nice and, what's the right word? Not solidified, but y'all know, you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Get everything nice and the right texture. Sorry guys, I just don't have the right words right now, I guess. But anyways, it's delicious, whatever you want, whatever words you want to use for it. Okay. I have everything well incorporated. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge for maybe like an hour, and then we'll do the taste test. All right guys, the macaroni salad cooled for about an hour. I have a little side dish of it here to taste test for you guys. So it thickened up really nicely. It also gives a chance for the celery and onions and harder things like that to break down a little bit, let go of some of the, you know, just like raw onionness to it. So everything breaks down nicely and it's really pleasant to eat. So let's go ahead and give it a taste test. It's just so delicious. It's like 100% like the vegan version of mac salad, like to a T. It's so good. I love the crunch from the veggies, the carrots and celery that we added in, and then just the nice briny and saltiness from the pimientos and the olives. Like everything is just balanced so well. It's so delicious. It's perfect to make and bring to a potluck just because, I mean, vegan mayo tastes just like mayo. Everybody's going to like this, and they're not even going to realize that it's vegan because it's just delicious. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, go ahead and like and subscribe down below. If you don't know, I share my recipes on Thursdays at 3 p.m. and then I like to vlog or do some kind of videos in between when I have time. So make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.